Hey guys. This is our fourth episode, I believe, and I just watched The Man Cave. I think it was the fifth episode on the reaction to Provipuff Girls. It was really hilarious, and we had like a thread of like 136 conversations going back and forth in all the time zones about it. And
Yeah.
yeah, like we wanted to start the conversation about like guys in general because we feel like we haven't been very brutal about guys talking about guys because
Yes.
we're so nice. So yeah, we wanted to like talk about like our experience about worldly guys in our career life, in our daily lives in general. Um Instead of like limiting it to like Providence guys and also like the kind of characteristics we don't like about girls as well. Yeah. So who wants to start?
Wow. Well,
Ellie has a lot to say.
Allie's face is like
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah.
3, 2, 1, start.
I don't know where to start. Well, like, like in the group chat, I mentioned briefly about just like all the catcalls that I've gotten
Mm,
in New York in 1 year, like in just like 1 year, not like my whole life.
mm,
I got like physically, sexually harassed 3 times
mm.
within a year, like less than a year. It was like 10 months. Literally, like someone touching me 3 times on public place, in like public, yeah, like on street. I mean,
Mm.
um, and catcalls, like, yeah, that's like I'd say like it's a weekly thing minimum, right? Um,
So were you an
so
exchange student in New York? Can I ask like why you were in New York?
also I was a exchange student,
Oh, I
so
see.
I was, yeah,
Mm,
I was in Providence. I went to New York church when Pastor Sky was head leader there.
I see.
Yeah. So for me, it just, like there were various kinds, and like the most simple, like the simplest catcalls are just like, "Hey, beautiful, ni hao," They
Mm,
would just say ni hao, and that's how I know it's me, right? There are a lot of women on the street, but okay, that is me. So like that was very clear. And things like yeah, there was this time after pre-dawn, after pre-dawn service, I was going back home, and like someone kindly offered sex education. That kind of disgusting things would happen like so many times. Like just I can't even calculate. Yeah, but like, it was pretty much at least like a weekly thing.
like
And
a random person offered you
oh,
to give you
oh yeah, yeah,
education.
like on the street. Like
That
I'm just like going to church, going home, going to school, whatever it is. I'm just walking on the street.
I
Yeah,
see.
and
Hmm.
then like so like that kind of things. It's really it's not like they're hurting me like physically, like I'm not like physically attacked,
Mm.
but um that feeling is just because we are all trying to be clean, and
Mm.
just these random people throwing poop at me, kind of, it
Yeah.
was really disgusting. Well,
Mm.
New York in general, disgusting, yes, but like those people just ah yeah. So at some point, also, I think it happens more to Asians.
Mm, probably,
Because
yeah.
oh, what did you say?
Yeah, because like probably it's like 5, 6 years ago, right? So
Yeah, like 2017 and 18.
mm,
So what I think is that a lot of people, when I don't understand them right away, they assume that I don't speak English.
yeah.
So maybe that's why as well, like that they just think, oh, maybe she's, like I can just say whatever I want and she might not even understand, like maybe that's the mindset. But to be honest, I don't really care because they probably catcall to everyone anyways. But yeah, like that kind of things. For me, in general, like other things I can control.
Mm,
Like I don't think I've had a situation where I can't control. Um, but I think that was the only thing that I just simply couldn't control, and it was affecting me like mentally. Because like we all pride in our status as God's bride.
mhm,
Um, and then like like knowing that I have that kind of spiritual status, but in reality, in like physical world, like these random people, like homeless people, like just random people would just
yeah.
say these things to me. It just really degrading in a way.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah. So that really, like at some point, like it was fine for a while, and then like at some point it just really consumed my mental health a little bit.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Guess that was really hard on you.
Um like I think there is certain thing about New York, because I've been to Rhode Island as well, and like people there, just everyone was so nice. I was honestly, I thought that was like kind of suspicious. I was like, oh, why are they so nice? Like people making small talks almost like
Mm,
never happens in New York. And yeah, New York is a very special place, and I think a lot of those people who catcalled, like they're on drug, alcohol, whatever it is, like they are mentally like not normal, right?
mm,
Yeah, so in a way I don't have to get affected, but still I think the situation that I cannot control, I think that's the most important thing for me. I
mm,
couldn't control any
Mm,
of that because I like didn't wear makeup. Like I wasn't trying to be pretty or anything. I was just like going to school, going home. I didn't like do anything, and
mhm,
I just couldn't find a way to control that. So it was just really frustrating.
mm,
Yeah. But in Korea, I don't know, like a catcall is very interesting thing for me because like they
mm,
don't get anything out of it, like they would catcall, and then like I'm not gonna like give them my phone number and then like start a relationship or anything, like it's not constructive in that way. In it's like,
yeah.
oh, like, but in Korea, guys would literally like ask my phone number, right? Like that is a little bit different in Korea. So there's
More
no cat.
constructive.
Yes,
constructive.
yes,
Lucy. Lucy like
yes.
constructive.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like I met people who actually like got the phone number, they actually start a relationship and they get married. Like I've seen that in my life. So I mean like, oh, that works, right? Like,
That works. Get
yeah,
job done. That's what
yes,
Ali likes.
yeah, do something.
Mission completed.
I know. I don't know. So I think that's kind of interesting as well. Like, why catcall?
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So I think Ali illustrated this very well particular trait in guys that are, I don't know what to call, like they can do crazy things even though they know that it's not constructive, but I don't know, like I think in their episode reacting to girls, they mentioned something like there's this biological attraction between guys and girls, and
Yeah.
it's just really hard to like disobey the natural law, and maybe that plays a role. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Definitely. But
Also, I
What do
think,
you think?
like, I mean, I think personally, criminals commit crimes because they just can, because, like, okay, like most people in the world, they have sexual drive, like people who are asexual, they went extinct. They don't, like, it's really rare.
now
But
we're
like,
going into asexuality.
yeah, it's like most people, but like most people, like they don't catcall. They live normal life, right? Um,
Yeah, they live constructive lives.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
uh,
I
so
Hmm.
for
think
me,
I
like,
think for you, like I think you experienced like the worst of worst in America, which is New York. And
yeah.
I think it's probably a little bit better now because I go to New York frequently. And there's like a lot of Asian, like what is it? I forget. Because there was a lot of like gun killing in New York
Um,
toward Asians and like racist movements. So like people are pretty like there's a lot of police and stuff like that. So there's a lot less, I think. Like,
oh,
but before, I think it was more like, oh, like you're a minority, like you're Asian, you're also a girl, and like mostly Asian girls are small, right? Like they're shorter and like their bodies are smaller. So like I think people kind of target you more. But yeah, I think in America it's kind of hard because like people have guns and like you're kind of like targeted all the time. Yeah.
yeah, I
Mm.
guess.
Yeah, I guess this. Can we say that Ali's example is kind of illustrating that guys could be, how
Yeah.
should I put it, prioritizing their own whatever needs it is? Is it biological needs or
They're more
mental needs?
physical. I think they're more physical. Like they will just like have like
Hmm.
this physical drive and they will just go for it.
Um,
I
oh,
guess.
so,
Yeah, like hunting animals down kind of thing, right? When they
like,
got a
Girls wouldn't
target, they
do
just
that,
go
right?
for it.
Girls
because,
wouldn't do that.
like, I personally, like, I studied white people rape, basically, and it's not, like, it's actually not really about sex drive, like nothing about sex drive. It's about power, like it's about having the power, like, of destroying someone else's life,
Mm.
or they have some sort of like trauma, like trauma from their, like, I don't know, mother, ex-girlfriend, like someone, there's this woman that he hates, like, and he wants revenge.
Mm.
So he finds someone that has similar trait and attack her and ruin her life
Mm.
instead.
Mm.
Or, there are sadists and they just really like attacking people in general. So like there are those three types of rapists. I think it really goes pretty much the same. Like I was really offended because I kind of know that they are not like complimenting me or something. Like they probably know that I would be offended and they are intentionally trying to mess up my mood, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, so I think like a lot of people, I guess online, I've never like talked about these things with like guys in real life, but a lot of people think that, oh, rape is like a sex drive thing, so they need an outlet, right? A lot of people say that, but like it's nothing like that in reality when you actually look at the psychological factors. And even if let's say like this rapist, he let's say this hypothetical rapist, he now is like sexually disabled, and then he will find some other way to feel the same. So like he might start killing people, like it's different. So like for me, it's just, I guess like I earlier I said that like I think criminals commit crime because they can. I think that's the whole thing. Like there's this idea for us, like, oh, we could hurt other people. I could, stab people, if I have a knife, like, but I don't want to. I don't want to, and I shouldn't. I must not do that. And I know it, but I think criminals just don't have that kind of mindset. They don't think they can't. They can't, but they just don't think so. I think yeah.
Well, just a side note, Ali is having a lot of knowledge on criminal psychology. She's really interested in psychology, and that's why we've got this podcast starting with something.
Maybe watch just a lot of those criminal dramas or something. And
yeah. Well, no offense, guys. We're not saying that you're all criminals or anything like that. Just
yeah. But it really helped me in Providence to have been studying that kind of criminals, because when I was younger, I kind of felt like, oh, all the guys are rapists. Like that was the like I mean, I knew that it's not true, but because I was looking into all these cases like way too much, it's like, oh wow, this world is just really horrible. Guys are horrible. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I had got this kind of fear, so it was really helpful to cut out all the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on that.
Super positive.
I guess like the physicalness of guys are like why sometimes girls have to like be really careful like of what they wear and like all of these things. And sometimes we can get like a little bit traumatized by guys. I guess.
Well, honestly, like I know what I wore when I was getting catcalled. Doesn't matter. Like whatever you're like, I was basically wearing like homeless outfit, I was like, I looked like a homeless even at some point, and they would still catcall. Like, okay, it just doesn't work. I've tried.
Yeah, I guess it depends on situations. So, all right, we got a very valid and well explored example of like calls and criminals and stuff. Maybe it's time that we can explore some other traits that
yes, like more positive things. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be positive, but like
I think
like maybe Hazel, I think you've warmed up a lot on this topic.
Okay.
Anything you want to say? Yeah.
I was kind of like, I don't know, like Lucy, you were talking about me with this about like guys smelling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Our office, it's like full of guys, and like they sometimes just come after like a workout or after playing like basketball, and it like really has this like distinct smell that girls would never have. And I think it's like the hormone smell or something. So I have like a girl in our cohort like just bought like a Febreze thing, like an air freshener to spray like when they're away, so it doesn't smell so bad.
Interesting. Same experience here, but because I work in a financial firm, so people are heavy smokers. Like I think 95% of my colleagues smoke, and I couldn't stand it. I told them nicely at first, it didn't work, and then I reported to my boss, and my boss understood my concern, and he was like every newcomer, like every new person entering the company will receive this 5-minute lecture from my boss. Basically, it's like manage your smell, otherwise Lucy will quit her job.
So-
Yeah, but it still didn't work because like, well, they were trying to manage the smell, but it was just too strong. Like it was like sweat plus
Ew.
badly chosen type of perfume plus smoke. So
Oh,
it's like
perfume?
Like
yeah,
cologne.
like it's a mixture of the worst
Oh.
combination. And then I just like I can't work here, God. I was like praying, and at the end of the day, all the smelly guys were gone. Like they were
Oh.
either fired or they got
Oh,
sick or whatever it was. Like yeah.
yeah.
Manage your smell. Or you get fired or get sick. That's great.
Well, I'm not saying that there's a cause and effect relationship. It's not proven, but yeah, that's what happened.
Your prayer work got the job.
Yeah, like I didn't pray for them to get fired, but I was just like,
Well,
I can't survive here.
That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
But I
is-
mean, girls smell too. Like like everybody has their smelly moments. Like I'm not saying that it's a scene or anything, but yeah, just take good care of yourself
Yeah, I
and
think
don't get fired.
take a good shower, like wash when you need.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of things can be done. Oh, sorry. Just one more episode before we go to the next trade. Like there's this guy, the same guy I was mentioning, who has this marvelous combination of smoky smell and perfume and sweat. So he's like, and the worst thing was that he came to the office one morning with like the worst smell a lot of times. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I asked him what happened, like not addressing the smell, but like, what did you do? And he's like, I was drinking with my boss for the whole night, and my boss was rich enough to catch a taxi, but I wasn't. So basically, he just didn't get showered for I think 36 hours, and he was drinking and smoking and doing all that, right? I was like, oh my gosh, this is way too much. And he was like right next to me. And I said, sorry, I can't sit here. I have to go to, another sit. But we were working on the same project. And I was like, just text me when you need me. Like we were working together, but I can't work with him. And he was looking at me like an abandoned cat. He's like, oh, Lucy, what you said really hurt me. And I was
Oh,
like,
cats don't smell.
yeah, that's a good point. But he was like acting like a victim. I'm like, well, I do understand it could be hurtful, but I wasn't saying it in a really hurtful way though. And then I told him that I'm sorry. I know maybe your heart hurts, but my lung hurts a lot too. So we better stay away from each other as we are hurting each other. And he left the company. I don't think it's because of me. So yeah.
That's so funny.
Sorry.
I love it though. Like I love that you actually told him.
I mean, you have to, right? Like, you can't survive that small. Right?
Yeah. I'm not I'm not selfless to the point that I could embrace that smell. I mean, Jesus told us to love our enemy, but he didn't tell us to love the smell of our enemy. So
Makes sense.
yeah. Okay, I think it's good time to. I'm done with the smell thing. Anything more?
We can move on to a different topic, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I think Hazel has tons of like list of traits you don't like about guys, right? When you
For
talk
me,
with your
like,
friends.
actually, like I don't really interact with guys except my guy friends, which are like one is gay and like one is kind of like asexual, basically. It's like no.
That's a weird sample.
So that's like a very not representative sample, but I just hear a lot from like my girlfriends in the world, like how they're like having like difficulties finding like a partner on the dating app and stuff, and like how they're like all the guys are rotten and stuff. Yeah, so I think
Rotten. It's to be thrown away, right?
I don't know, like I think there's a difference in like how we perceive like as like average for like aesthetics, like how people dress up, like how
Mm.
adorned you should be, like how much you should kind of like think about like how you dress or do your hair, or like, you know, think about your face and stuff. Like, so I think there's like different standards for girls and guys in general about that, but
Mm.
I don't know.
To be more specific, like what is it that you can't accept, or you would be like, oh my gosh, what happens to this guy's hair or whatever it is?
Oh yeah, because you mentioned like really, like I guess you don't really look at it, but um
Yeah, I didn't have that kind of. Yeah, I I haven't seen anyone that's like that falling out of the standard or anything. So I just wonder what made you felt that.
yeah, like I think sometimes like if I take the example of my dad and like where like the place where my dad and my mom always fights with each other, my mom's always like, you should dress appropriately to the time, place, and occasion. Like if you're going to like your grandma, like we're going to a hotel to eat buffet for my grandmother's birthday, you should like, you know, dress like neatly and like have a proper shirt and have proper pants. But like I think that standard is different from my dad. Like he's like, oh, this is fine, like I'm wearing pants and a shirt, like why are you nagging on me and stuff like that. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think
What kind of pants and shirt was that disappointed your mom?
um I
Was it that bad?
yeah, I think it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard
Too
to,
casual?
yeah, it's too casual, I guess. And like there's
Okay.
something,
Understood.
like that's more formal, I guess. You should wear something that's like more formal, like what you would find in like a department
Mm,
store. Yeah. But I guess
yeah,
their values
yeah.
are different. Like I'm just like they're more utilitarian in the sense like I'm just wearing clothes. Like why do I have to wear good clothes? Like
Yeah,
what is
I'm not naked, right?
yeah,
Like
like
it's
I'm
fine.
covered.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of wearing clothes, right? But for girls, it's not like that. It's like you should like be appropriately dressed, not just dressed up. Yeah.
I mean, I think like when it comes to TPO, it's more of a manner, I
Mm,
guess.
yeah.
So I guess that's a little bit different. But other than that, like I wouldn't wear, brilliant, like bright clothes for like funeral.
Yeah. Mm.
But other than that, to be honest, I'm a developer. I can't really say anything. I really wear shirts from like developer events, and then like developers like among us, like we think it's cool. Like, oh my god, that's so like that's really cool. Neon like blockchain thing, like that's so cool. Solana Hacker House, oh super cool. But like yeah, that's just among developers, and I know that for many others it's just not up to the standard. We think it's cute, okay?
I guess Lucy, you don't really have experience. You never thought like
Uh,
too awkward. I guess because like you're working in a finance,
yeah,
people will wear
I
like
think so. Yeah, because like almost everyone is a salesman here. So if you don't wear appropriately, you lose your job. So like,
that's
and that's like the majority of men I'm meeting. And other than that, it's like church guys, and church guys are, well trained with the word. And besides, I only meet them on Sunday, which is service, or in like at sports, and they're wearing sport things, right? So yeah, I guess if I'm meeting them, I don't know, on a Thursday night, it might be different. But and I guess it's because I'm living in Japan,
yeah.
and Japanese are very conscious of what other people think of them, I think, in general. So they could, like, for example, in Hong Kong, like we could just wear pajamas and we throw our garbage, or buy something in the convenience store, like really close. But I rarely see that in Japan. Like even though they're just going to the convenience store like 1 minute away from their house, they
Have to wear
wear
makeup.
something that, yeah, that's meant to be wear out. So yeah, I think Japanese might, I'm not sure, but might have a higher standard in terms of attire and makeup and that sort of things.
Yeah, a little bit true for Korea, I think too, right? Like people try to they
Mm.
dress up much nicely than in America. Like Americans are like super chill, like they wear sweatshirts and like they don't really care about
Yeah,
so much.
I think so. I think there's a cultural and social difference across the globe.
I mean, I've never been to Italy, or like I don't know anyone from Italy, but I have heard that countries like Italy, like they really care about their fashion. So even for guys, it's just something you do for sure. So I guess it like the culture plays a big role here. Um,
Hmm. I guess like it's more
Yeah.
mostly like when you're like in a relationship, which we're all not in, like it's kind of different. Like
um,
if you're like
um,
with a partner and like the partner doesn't like dress up appropriately, that's like a big problem for
oh yeah,
girls, I guess. Mm.
yeah, like girls like we would like wear makeup,
Mm.
and it's like I don't like wearing makeup. I don't wear makeup at work or just any like whenever it's not necessary, I just don't wear makeup. And then if I went on a date and I am wearing makeup and I'm like dressed nicely and he's just like wearing shorts and shirt and like he's like wearing flip-flops or whatever, I would be like,
Yeah,
okay, I am
that's
not wearing makeup from this time on ever. Like not acceptable. That's I guess yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Um, I I'm just wondering, would maybe this would be an interesting topic to bring up, like say when we first come to Providence, right? There's this attire for Sunday service,
Yep.
and we like maybe someone from form of faith, right? They could coming from somewhere that's more chill, and people wear t-shirt and stuff to church,
Yeah.
or for people who didn't have faith,
Mm.
like it could be one of the hurdles that they need to overcome. I just wonder, do you experience any like differences between how girls and guys learn this, this attitude and attire how we need to treat God, or it's just the same learning curve? Any thoughts on this?
Oh, so like, what do you
What about
guys
Hazel?
wear normally for service?
Yeah, I don't know, for Sunday service, I try to dress up very very fancy, like with a dress. I think that's like the default. I don't know. I was just trained like that as a newcomer, so I just like it now. It's just a default for me. But for guys, like I don't really look at what they dress like, but I do realize like they dress really like clean, and like they have like white blazers and stuff, which worldly guys would never have. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty similar here. I either wear a dress or maybe a setup, or like with jackets, more fancy jackets, like not suit like, or some fancy blouses with kind of like formal pants or long skirt,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, for me, after COVID-19, like the biggest hurdle for me to go back like physically to church was to find something to wear. Like, oh my God, like, I could not be bothered because like at that time I didn't have a job. And then like, so I didn't like have to go out, and like it was very like strongly recommended to stay at home, right? So I kind of forgot how I wear clothes basically. And then I was like, that was like literally like I remember once like I could go to like offline service, but like I just decided not to because I just couldn't be bothered with the clothes. Well, it could be like just me, but like for me, I found a trick, like because I'm in choir, so like I have to wear this robe, so no one knows what I'm wearing inside, right?
So funny.
Yeah, but I would still, wear kind of, like even if it's like a t-shirt, I have to be comfortable, inside of the robe. So like I wouldn't wear something super fancy, but still I would kind of designate special favorite t-shirts that I would wear for service, like it's different for me, kind of. So there is a distinction, but still like uh yeah. I do like dress because of that. Like I don't have to think. I can just like put it
Yeah.
on and go.
That's what I always wear for summer. Like I don't have to
Mm.
pick the pants and the t-shirt, and I have to like match it. But yeah, like for newcomers, I do understand like Lucy's point. Like it's kind of hard because you have to like, I think like before Raptor, we kind of like half forced like the newcomers to like buy these kind of skirts, like H-line skirts and like a white blazer and like all colors of like a skirts and stuff.
And no black. Like never. Is
Yeah.
it funeral? No. Don't wear black. Like Satan's color, it was intense.
Yeah, I think like I had a lot of experience like when a newcomer came, like we had to kind of like buy them and like collect money, and we bought them like a set of clothes so they can wear like something more appropriate. Kind of like persuading them to like wear more bright.
Wow. The history of management for Hazel is just tremendous.
Maybe I
We
just
should
had
write
like
a book on it.
maybe I just had a weird extreme experience.
Yeah. But my evangelist bought me Sunday clothes too, so I thank her for that. Like nobody has that kind of clothes. Yeah.
I do admit, like,
So
it's not
okay, so when,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's
Okay, so guys, girls also struggle to find the appropriate attire for Sunday. I
mm,
wonder, like, would guys struggle more or less? Because, guys basically just, not just, but they mostly wear suits, right? Oh,
yeah,
is it right? Like, at least in Japan, yeah. And to be honest, I think, well, even for the world, guys' fashion has less diversity, I think. Of
yeah.
course, you can have like really expensive belt, right? And watch and stuff like that's more subtle, but maybe it's easier for guys to just buy one set of, nice suit and that's it. Like they don't have to worry about it. What do you think?
Maybe. But like what I'm like I do have a question because like wearing jacket in summer, it's I hate it. I would hate it. So I don't know how guys are, you know, how they wear service clothes in summer. Like they have to wear like jacket and everything. It's just really hot to wear all these things, you know.
Yeah, I feel the same, like, because sometimes, like, maybe, like, in your workforce, Lucy, like, a lot of strict workforces don't let guys wear shorts in the workplace. Like, that's, like, forbidden. So I'm just curious, like, how guys deal with all the hot weather and stuff. They have to look so formal. But,
Yeah. Also, like guys smell when they sweat as well, so it's like
That's true.
sorry, but like yeah, but like yeah, so it's like I don't know. For me, like know that once you wear jacket, like once you like the guys wear jacket, like they can't take it off because like inside they're all like sweaty.
Mm.
It's like uh yeah, so like they can't show that, so they have to wear jacket from that point on. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm, that's pretty
A lot of
interesting.
mysteries.
Yeah, maybe guys can tell us like how you cope with sweaty summer days.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I do think like
Well, to
we
be honest,
yeah.
oh, sorry, Hazel, go ahead.
I just do think like we should be like kind of less judgmental probably on like our clothing and stuff. I just like wearing those kind of like Providence dresses now, because I just like this like feel and look, but like I guess some people don't, and like we can just like respect them and like say like wear something that's clean. But like, like that's like paying respect to the Trinity and showing your love to the Trinity. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I think of course what you wear is important, but more like what kind of thoughts you are having when you choose the clothes, right?
Yeah.
And like the center of your heart is always what matters the most.
Mm.
Yeah, and I really liked Song Sing's story. Like I think it's like he was choosing his necktie every morning
Right.
while conversing with, maybe it was Holy Spirit or Holy Son, sorry. Anyway, he was conversing with Holy Trinity, and there's this one day he asked it again, like, which necktie would you like me to wear? And the inspiration was yellow.
Mm.
And Sung didn't want to wear the yellow necktie himself, but because of his love for God, he chose that necktie. And
Mm.
then when after he preached the sermon, one newcomer came to him and said, like, I realized who you are today because I prayed to God saying that, if the word is correct, please show me by a yellow necktie. I don't know. I just remember this story and it was funny and inspiring. And yeah, I just got quite inspired by how God works through with this little detail. Yeah, just a side note. Sorry, I don't have the exact story, but I think I heard that.
That's very inspiring.
Yeah,
Also
maybe I
very
should choose
interesting.
my code. Mhm.
Yeah, like yellow necktie, that's very specific.
Yeah, and it's pretty rare, I think.
Yeah,
Like, not many people wear yellow neckties. So.
yeah. I wonder why that person chose yellow necktie. Like that's so specific. There must be something going on. I don't know. Curious.
Not sure. Maybe because it's kind of rare. Like, if you ask God, like, please show me with a
Yeah, I
big
sometimes do
blue
that too.
necktie.
Like if I
Yeah, everyone's wearing a blue
I'm like, oh,
necktie.
please show me like turquoise color. Like
Yeah, I did that too. Mm,
Mm, yeah. So are there some things
cool.
that like you would like really not like about girls in general?
Oh, I have a longer list with this one. Like,
Okay.
I can talk about this
Yeah.
forever. Like,
I think I can add on you. Yeah.
all right. Well, I'm not accusing all girls of course, but personally, I I just struggle hanging out with girls that are princess like.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, this is too heavy. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, it's so hot here. Like I was like, oh my gosh, just go back home. Like say we're going to Bonmyeongdo, right? Or we are like visiting places something went, right? Like, there are times it's not that easy and they just yeah, like especially with Bonmyeongdo trips, I just can't stand with girls who brought like tons of makeup goods, tons of clothes, and they never use it in the trip. And their luggage is so heavy. And they're like, oh, I can't carry this. Oh, why isn't there an elevator? And then, the other people, sometimes girls, I mean, sometimes me, like have to carry the luggage for them.
Why?
And whenever
Why
there's
would
like
you? Like that is positive reinforcement. Do not carry their bags. You're doing all of us not a favor, okay? Like not doing a favor.
yeah,
That's
all right.
mean. Don't do that.
Okay,
Always
sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Got it. I repent for carrying her luggage. I'm sorry.
I'm like, oh, that's
Anyway.
really sweet of you. Like I would never carry a bag for you.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to stereotype people, but there's a higher tendency for these girls to get late, right? They're like, oh, I haven't finished my makeup. And it's like, oh, my eyeliner is not perfect. And like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, that's just my personal experience. It doesn't mean all pretty girls or people who are good at makeup are like this, but yeah. Mhm.
You know, if you're
That's
like
all
really
for
good
me.
at makeup, it's not gonna take that much time. So
You've got a point.
it took like 10 minutes for me to wear makeup, and I wear makeup like once a week. So like if you're a princess, you should be, more accustomed to wearing makeup more like quickly.
Yeah, like get your job done, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also like
True.
I'm sorry, I'm just Korean as well. Just like do it quick. Got
Yeah.
no patience left.
I guess like for me, like
Yeah.
I do not hang out with those kind of people. I'm sorry.
Me neither.
I would
No
Wait, but
one.
didn't you have to manage different kind of lives,
oh
like difficult lives?
yeah, but like now I after going through that, like I do not hang out with these kind of people. Like if they have like 1 inch of that kind of vibe, I would just like go away and never talk to them.
Bye. I've learned my lesson. I am not hanging out with these people. Like, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't actively involve with princess like girls. It's just that sometimes you have to like, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
I understand.
I mean, also, I
Yeah.
think it's not really like the look, you know, like there are people who like that kind of, you know, dresses or like the fashion thing. I'm like, I don't really care about fashion. So where like if you're not naked, I'm fine. But like I think the point here is the complaints. You know, like
Oh yeah.
yeah, like
Hmm.
they brought the makeup, they brought the clothes, they brought all the luggage. It's their choice. It was their choice, and then like they're not. Are you stupid? You know, like did you like you have
Are
to
you
keep it.
stupid?
Like
Another
you
skull.
didn't see that coming? Like how is that even possible? Like for me it's very irritating to I think I have an issue though. Like I get very angry with these kind of things. Oh my god. But like I really understand because like uh I think even for guys as well, like they might complain about something else, but like if there's a guy who would like complain, oh, I don't like this, you know, like I don't like this food, like oh, it's like there's no meat in the dish, you know, like that kind of things. Cook on your own. If you don't like the dish, cook on your own. I'm talking about my brother, but like yeah. But he does
Your
cook,
facial
so
expression was gold. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, well, thank God my brother does cook, so it was like happy ending. Oh, there's no meat. I'm gonna cook myself, and it was like happy ending. But like, I know that like just like the complaints, just I don't know.
Yeah, like you were talking about like girls like not complaining and not giving like constructive feedback, like constructively trying to find a solution. That's like very annoying, I think.
Oh
For any
Yeah,
yeah,
so true. And I think even Sungsini once mentioned is it like princess syndrome or like prince syndrome in one of the Sunday sermon, I think.
Oh, really?
Like yeah, it was pretty shocking for me. I think the point was like we are heaven's brides, but we are not meant to be like treated as princess. Like
yeah,
brides are like brave. You're like warriors. Like you fight for the Lord. You fight for the history. Brides are not just sitting there, hanging out with your friends and having parties every day,
Doing your makeup
showing
every
off
day. Yeah, right.
your beauty and how the king loves you.
Mm.
Yeah, and
I mean, we're not princess, we're
well,
prince, right?
yeah.
So we gotta work.
Yeah, you need to get job done, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a job to do. So
I really
Yeah,
agreed
I
on like
think, yeah.
yeah, go. Lucy, go.
Sorry, Hazel.
Yeah.
Oh, just one quick note. Like, I think in the sermon you mentioned that people in Providence are sometimes really spoiled
Mm.
because
oh
we
Yes.
we are forgiven when we repent, right? And we are treated really with a lot of generosity, but we took that for granted and we don't give enough thanksgiving and we become this like spoiled princesses and princes. So it was pretty shocking, but also um like eye opening for me. Yeah. Sorry, Hazel.
Yeah, I agree. And I just agreed on like I think Pastor Sky mentioned it in like the last podcast for Man Cave, like how girls would not like commit to the trip incident thing where like I think like they were like planning a trip to San Francisco and then like the girls were like, "Oh, let's go on a trip too." And then they would not go for like a month. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I experienced a
I
lot
think it was 6 months.
Oh yeah, for 6 months or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have like a lot of experience with girls like that would not like commit to the time. And like they would be oh, like I'm just feeling a little like under the weather, and then they would just like cancel the plan with me um like on the day and stuff. Like I experience a lot of these things with girls in general. So I don't know what your experiences are, but I just like have a problem with like not like committing to like the time, and like them being like really emotional and like not keeping up with the plan that we like made a promise for. Is that like a unique experience for me? I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to like
Yeah, I
gather everyone.
totally agree.
Like it's I don't know, like for I'm not sure why this is happening to me, but like I found out that like in the company that I work at, um I am the only female developer, and there are like including anyone who have been a developer, like there are like 5 other developers, and all of them like their MBTIs are F, all of them except me. Like so
I-
I'm like the least emotional person among like all the guys. And then like so like what I experienced with the coworkers is that uh like because my company is like a little bit flexible with the like working at home kind of thing, they would just like impulsively like, oh, I'm gonna just like work at home today, but like there was a meeting, you're
Mm.
not coming to the office. So like they would join like through like Zoom or something, but like the quality is not the same. So like I get annoyed a lot because of them, that kind of things recently. So I understand your frustration for sure.
So the gender role changed in your situation, I guess.
Why? Like why is going on with my life? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like it's really funny because like even in my family, like when I see my paternal side of the family, like gender role is like the reverse kind of. Like I don't know, like I mean I think it's a very, it's not average. I think, you know, it's not, definitely not an average situation, but like that happened somehow. And like the point here is like that they are being kind of irresponsible and impulsive, right?
Mm.
Ugh.
Yeah, because I'm a kind of person that's like, if I want to do it and if I commit to it, like I will do it, like no matter what kind of thing. Like unless like, your grandfather passes away or like something happens, like that's fine. But like I just feel like a lot of people just, I don't know, like not just in Providence, but like girls in like maybe like, I don't know, 50% or more like of the girls that I interact with, they're more like emotional and like they're more like feeling based. Oh, I like don't really want to do it today. Like the weather's like kind of bad today, so I just want to stay home kind of thing. That's just,
Weather.
I'm just like super mad when that happens.
Oh, that sounds so much like my sister.
Really.
Because I stay away from girls that don't keep their promises, and the only girl that I can't stay away from is my sister.
She's your blood, really.
That's how yeah, I mean he's older than me. Actually, oh sorry, not she. She's 9 years older than me,
Wow.
but our interaction is always, not always, but mostly like the reverse. Like I play like an elder sister, and she feels like the younger sister. Yeah,
Oh.
she's really emotional and stuff. And I was like, if if I don't feel like doing it, I'll say no in the first place. If I say yes, I'll do it until the end. Like it's either yes or no. but she's like, oh, this is so interesting. Wow, this is so cute. Hey, let's go to Disneyland. And sorry, I don't feel like doing it. I just had a quarrel with my boyfriend yesterday, like,
God,
I don't know.
Oh, that's like the last thing you want to hear. Oh, you're just being irresponsible and your excuse is your boyfriend. Like,
Hmm.
ugh. But like I wonder what the reason is, kind of like, because like a lot of times I see people just they don't want to say no,
Mm.
you know, but they don't want to do it, and then like so like they just say yes at first, and then like they just struggle until the end, and then at the last moment they're like, I don't really want to do it, like
Until the end. That was very
yeah.
interesting. The wrong kind of until the end, huh?
I don't know. I think
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
maybe
Yeah,
it's
go ahead, Hazel.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a hormonal thing for girls. Like I think all three of us are pretty like firm on our commitments, but like most girls are kind of like they I don't know, they don't really.
To be honest, that's like just an excuse, because like you guys work with other guys, and if you ask them like, do you know my period cycle, they wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Like hormone whatever, like, and like girls are in physical pain during that time,
Mm.
but still we hide it pretty successfully most of the times. So I'm like, is it really, like, there are some people who get really, really bad pain, and I understand. It's like, it's just a disease, right? Almost. So I understand, of course, like it happens. I totally understand. But to blame hormone for being that kind of person, I don't know. Like, how do you work? How do you make
Yeah,
living?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can predict that, right? Like, I mean, I think it's about predictability, like the ability to assess your own capacity and be clear with your stance. Like, if
Mm.
you're that bad, like if that's your excuse, like your period and stuff, then mark down your calendar. Like these 5 days are high like risky, right? And I wouldn't say yes to, important events or stuff. Like I think there are tons of ways to manage risk. And I think it resonates with what Pastor Sky shared in his podcast, saying that the string broke with the soloist violin in the concert, and the orchestra just coped with it really well.
Yeah.
And I think like if you know your weakness, you can cope with it. It doesn't mean that you can just, not commit to your promises and stuff. So I think the last point Ali mentioned about how girls are, well, I'm not sure if it's only girls, but people who are reluctant to say no at an early stage is
Mm.
actually making more harm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, because
But I don't think it's a sorry, I don't think it's completely a gender thing though, because I see guys who don't know how to say no.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, like like I kind of realized that during high school, not high school, like during college, I was like leading this student club and everything, like not related to Providence at all. Um, and I found out that like people who have never been a leader of any kind, they just do not understand. So
Mm.
like in this scenario as well, like um when you're, let's say you're planning for a trip, and if you have been a leader, you would know, like, let's say with 5 people, like if you want to orchestrate a trip, there are a lot of things to consider. And it would be very much helpful to say no from the get-go, right? But like some people just have never been in that position, and they just don't know, and they kind of feel sorry to say no, not knowing that it's actually making life much harder for the leader. Yeah, I think like that kind of factors in as well, like because I know a lot of like leader type girls, and if they're like, it's really hard to find one for like that. So for me, that's kind of how I feel. They just don't know how things work in that kind of situation. Yeah, very annoying. I don't know.
Well, but I guess, yeah, I think this is an interesting topic, like saying no and basically setting boundaries, right?
Yeah.
I think it takes a certain degree of maturity to do that. Like, first thing, you need to know your true feelings or your answers. Like, some people are even disconnected with their true self. Like, they would just match, they're just trying to please everyone and they just forgot what they really want. And number two, you need to be able to verbalize it. And number three, you need to have the courage and the skill to, you know, verbalize it in the good timing or in a good manner and stuff like that. So I can understand that it could be difficult at times to say no, and you just want to wait until the last minute. Like, I mean, I've done it when I was in high school and stuff. So I'm not trying to blame those people, but I think, yeah, I guess we can just be more helpful and maybe sense like maybe it's a no, and like we can help those out and give them the courage to say no and stuff like that.
I mean, I really like understand because I've done that in college as well. Before I realized that, oh, it sucks. Like I before that, I just didn't know. And then like, well, I actually kind of got sick. So like that kind of things. And then like if I knew how hard it would be for like the other person, I would have, cared more about the situation, and I would, prepared a little bit more. But like I was too young and stupid to do that, to be honest. Like just like I didn't have the ability basically.
Yeah, I think all
What
people
about you, Hazel?
through like the socialization process for all girls and guys. I feel like people have to like try to like take responsibility in like a small role or a big role, and try to like figure out, like, it's fine to go through trials and errors, but it's like a really big problem if you're like still like that in your late 20s and in your 30s. There's like kind of like no hope for you then. So yeah, I think socializing and like knowing your boundaries, it takes time, and like we have to be patient for them, but at a certain point, like, you just have to do it.
Is it from
Okay.
Menke? Like, oh, okay.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, like
Yeah, so
I
we've got.
remember. What did you say?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Hazel's comment. Like it sounds like a sentence.
What?
There's no hope for you. Sorry. Yeah, it was
And for
just kind of
some times I
hilarious.
do feel like there is no like way to improve for this person. I'm sorry, but like, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, it happens, to be honest. And then like I remember Pastor Sky saying how like all leaders, like he thinks that all leaders must work like in the world full time. And I really understand what he was trying to say, because like when you actually work in the world, like you get paid for it, like you understand the responsibility and like the process and everything way more. I have grown so much more. I feel like, you know. So I think that's one of the factors, because like I have been in campus. I was evangelized when I was in campus, and I am in Korea right now, and I love being in Korea because of that. Everyone's so much mature. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right, girls, we still have a long list of things we don't really like about guys and girls, I think. But yeah, I think we've gone through an hour and we can explore the topic a little bit deeper maybe next time. And just as an end note, I just want to express my appreciation for like the man cave guys and also like guys in general in Providence, because you know, in this smelly and possibly criminal
Rapist culture.
dominated world. I don't know what kind of world it is, but like you guys are just so precious. Like I just appreciate all the effort you guys are putting out there, like things we don't see, and yeah. So
Feel guilty about making fun of us.
yep. So oh yeah, guys. As we asked you a few questions in the episode, it would be really interesting if you guys can give us some feedback as well. And for those who would be interested in joining Provipuff Girls, just leave us a comment or email us. All right, see you again. Bye.